I haven't worked a job since I was 17 years old. Getting into real estate is probably the best decision I've ever made. And right now I'm 21 years old making high six figures. So take some advice from me. All you gotta do is listen a little bit. If you're watching this in 2026 and you're still not in real estate, then this video is probably going to piss you off, but you still need to hear it. Who is this video for? If you're cool with the 9 to 5 forever, if you're cool with scrolling through TikTok all day after work, if you're cool with waiting on promotions, waiting to get promoted on that 2% increase every single year, then yeah, this video is definitely not for you and get the fuck out of here. If you're hungry, then this video is for you. Doesn't matter what age you are. When I was 17, I realized something early. Time is the most expensive thing that you own. And trading it for a fixed paycheck is probably the worst fucking deal that you can do ever in your entire life. And this is when I decided I knew I needed to work for myself, and this is something that I needed to do and need to make my mission for the rest of my life. So what did I do? I did what everybody does. I go through social media, I see what business models there are, see what I like, and I see what I don't like. But what I did differently from other people is that I took action. Real estate was the first thing that showed me leverage. Leveraging other people's money, leveraging other people's time, and leveraging these assets that work while you sleep. Like, this is my dashboard on my Hospitable account, which is my PMS. This is $95,000 since November, and right now is almost the middle of January, so it hasn't really been 3 months yet. And keep in mind, right now is 1:44 a.m. and I'm making money because why? Everyone is in my properties, they're at my Airbnbs, and they're sleeping. I'm making money while other people are sleeping, and I'm making money while I'm about to sleep myself, and I have the willpower and the ability so I can record this video for you guys. I'm leveraging other people's assets, I'm leveraging other people's time, I'm leveraging cleaners, I'm leveraging handymen. I'm making and I'm putting these people in the right place so they can do work for me in order for me to do the things that I like when I like to do them. For example, I'm recording this video at 1:44. I'm about to go to sleep probably at 3 a.m. and I'm gonna wake up and not give a fuck because I don't need to be up for a job. I don't need to be up at a certain time, and I don't need to be up to answer guest messages either. And the reason this is because I have my cleaners that clean the units every time a guest checks out. I have my virtual assistant that is literally awake before I can even consider opening my eyes in the morning answering guest messages. And this is how I literally fully took myself out of this business. And that's why I preach real estate, because you can really do that. You just saw $95,000 in less than the past 3 months. And the truth is about that is this money is almost 100% passive. And this business is almost 100% passive and almost 100% automated. And that's the honest truth. Yeah, there's different types of real estate. There's wholesaling, there's fix and flips, there's new developments, there's cabins, there's short-term rentals, there's mid-term rentals, there's long-term rentals. There's so many different sectors of real estate, just like there's different sectors of trading, just like there's different sectors of e-commerce. But I'm personally in the short-term rental space. But real estate in general, active, there's passive, but I choose to be in the passive side. The passive side is the short-term rentals and the long-term rentals. I make money while I fucking sleep, and that is my preference. With the money I've been able to make from real estate, I bought my dream watch, which is a Rolex Perpetual Date Stress with a fluted white gold bezel. And this is something I really wanted for a long time, and what unlocked this for me was real estate. What unlocked this for me is, having the proper mindset when I was 17 years old and deciding that entrepreneurship is something that I wanted to go into. And obviously you can do the same thing if you really just put your mind to it. Everything's just mindset. It starts with your mindset, and it starts with you believing in yourself that you're able to do it. I was retarded when I was younger. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any communication skills. I didn't know any sales skills. I didn't know how to use softwares. I didn't know how to use AI. I had to learn all of this, and I had to learn all of this by myself. But the truth is, we have YouTube, we have AI, we have ChatGPT, we have Manus, we have all of these things that can help us to actually learn now, to where you can just truly do this and have no excuse on why you can't learn the business model that you want to get into. Sorry, I needed to yawn. It's getting late. But the good thing is I can sleep when I want to because I'm still gonna make money in the morning. Everyone keeps saying the market is bad. Good, that's where the money is made. The best time to start real estate is when everyone's scared. Yes, that is good. Everyone has that fear-mongering mindset. What does that do? It softens the rental market. I got into this business renting other people's property and basically pimping out these properties. What I mean by that is I found a property for rent, I leased the property from the owner, I furnished the property using 12% APR credit cards and using other people's money. So how does this exactly work? For example, let's say I find a property that's $2,000 a month in rent, and there's another $1,000 a month in expenses, which is going to be cleaning and utilities and the other softwares. So now we're at $3,000 a month in expenses. And if this property makes $5,000 as a short-term rental, that means we're profiting $2,000 because 5,000 minus 3,000 equals 2,000. So then we take this money and we keep reinvesting it into more properties, and that's exactly what I did to get to this point. Yes, I barely own any real estate, and in the beginning I didn't own any real estate at all, and that's how I got started. At 17 years old I started learning, and at 18 years old I got my first property. It's really that simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. There's certain entry points that you can get into in real estate. There's so many different things that you can do that cost money, that don't cost money, etc. But you might be wondering, John, where do you find this money in order to actually get started into this business? Just like I said, I use a 12-month 0 APR credit card. And for those who don't know, that is a credit card that you get from the bank that you get a 12-month term on. And this 12 months gives you the opportunity to use all the money that they gave you and not have to pay a single dollar back for 12 months. And then once you pay that money off before the 12 months, then you don't have to pay any interest. So if you borrow $10,000, you're paying back $10,000. You're not paying back $10,100. You're not paying back $11,000. You're not paying back $12,000. You're only paying back what you borrowed. And that's the beautiful thing about these credit cards. So you might be wondering, John, how do you profit? For example, let's say the deal I just explained to you, which is making $2,000 a month in profit. Let's say it costs you $8,000 to set up, right? That means it's going to take you 4 months to take your initial investment back. So those 4 months, you're going to make $2,000 a month, and 4 times 2 equals 8. And $8,000 is how much that you use to actually invest into this property. So once those 4 months go by, now you have the funds again to get another property. And on top of that, now you're straight profiting off the current one that you have. And with the profits, you can keep reinvesting into more properties and then duplicate it. And then let's say you get to 5 properties or 10 properties. Let's say you're at 10 properties now. Each one's making $2,000 a month in profit. Now you're at $20,000 a month in profit. Boom, just like that. You keep scaling and automating the business and keeping going and keeping your head down and having the proper mindset to reinvest, because at the end of the day in business, the only way you're going to grow if you reinvest into yourself or you reinvest into the business. And you might be listening to this video like, John, how do you know all this shit? Now, it's been years. I learned this shit over time, and I teach people this stuff on the free YouTube videos on my Instagram. So make sure you follow my Instagram, by the way. If you're not following my Instagram already, I give so much free game on the internet. I answer every single DM. Go follow my Instagram right now. Yeah, but it goes back to my point. You need to get into real estate in 2026, whether you're going to buy the house and list it as a short-term rental, whether you're going to rent the house and list it as a short-term rental, or whether you're going to manage the house and list it as a short-term rental. You can do all of the above, and you can even co-host. There's so many different opportunities. You don't need credit. You don't need money, depending on what you're doing. Yes, if you're buying a house, you need money for a down payment. You need money to furnish it. Or if you're managing a property as a short-term rental for an owner, you don't need any money up front at all. As well as co-hosting, you don't need any money up front at all. Arbitrage, you don't need any money up front, but you do need some sort of credit so you can borrow money from the bank to be able to fund those deals. So there's so many different entry points that you can get in. You don't have any excuse. It doesn't matter what your age is. I literally showed you that I started this shit when I was 18 years old, and I have proof in the pudding. You guys can probably go back on my TikTok. That's really the only place I used to post at the time about the short-term rental space when I was 18, is on my TikTok. But I'll definitely tap into there. I was low-key a degenerate back in the day, so don't mind some of the bullshit I be saying in those videos. But yeah, I started when I was 18, but now we're rocking. We got hella units. I got a bunch of employees now. I have VAs, I have handymen, I have cleaners operating the business for me. I have units here. I have units in other areas as well. My hometown, different places. The beautiful part about this business is that it can be done anywhere. Real estate in general, not just short-term rentals, but it really could be done anywhere. It could be automated everywhere. Let's say I find a unit in a different state, let's say like Florida, because currently I live in Ohio. The process is going to be the same. I find a property, I sign a lease for this property, I furnish the property, and I can hire people from websites like TaskRabbit, and these people will do the whole setup for me. And then once everything's done, then I send the cleaners. Where do you find the cleaners, John? You can go on Turno.com and find the cleaners. So then you get it fully set up with all the cleaners, you get it staged, but now you find a photographer. You can find one on Facebook, or you can find one online on Google. And then from there, you have your VA, or you do it yourself, and you list the property. You connect your price slabs, which is a dynamic pricing software. It's just going to automate the whole process for you. And then you connect the Turno to your cleaners. And now you have a fully automated business that's making you money every single month repetitively. You have a cleaner, you have your handyman, you have your VA, and everyone's controlling everything for you. So then now you don't really have to even lay a finger unless bad stuff kind of happens here and there. Obviously, you're dealing with guests and sometimes they fuck shit up, but not really most of the time. I'd say like about 2% of the guests I've hosted have caused damage to the property, which is really a low percentage after all. You know, the process is pretty simple. I don't like to overcomplicate it for people. People like to overcomplicate and overthink and overanalyze, but overanalyzation is not going to get to your destination. But with that being said, I hope you got some sort of value in this video. Get into real estate in 2026, or else every single year is going to go by you and you're going to wish that you got into it a little bit earlier. And listen, if you want to learn more about this business, I suggest watching some of my other videos. But I am starting to host these free live classes. I'm doing it for you guys to learn as much as possible. But if you want to access that free live class, that free live masterclass, then I suggest going in the link in the bio below and signing up for the classes. Trust me, you do not want to miss them. It's so much free game in there, and there's so much free game on my YouTube too. But in those classes, it's going to be live and you're going to get to ask me questions as well. And I'm going to walk through deals hand by hand and show you exactly how you can get into this business, how you can start your business, how you can scale your business, how you can automate your business. But with that being said, it is now 1:57 and it's getting really late, and I really want to go to sleep probably because my eyes are low-key shutting off. I appreciate you watching this video. Get into real estate. It starts with your mindset, but at the end of every single video, like I like to leave you guys with, make sure follow my Instagram, comment something that you're grateful for right now or any questions that you have, and also sign up for the free live masterclass. Make sure you pray to God. I'm out.